Episode 55, All the Everything Podcast. I'm Billy. That's Tim. Tim, what is going on, my man?
Hey, buddy. Hey, welcome to Double Nickels, man. We're killing it with 55. I've been waiting to say double nickels for a long
Double
time.
nickels. It took a second, but then there was 5-5. I like it.
Yeah, we only go 55 in our car, never above that.
Never.
Wink. Yeah. No, I'm excited for this episode because not only is this a great episode for a day like today, and I know that we've already had our Halloween episode, but we're coming
Yep.
to you from the past in the future, right? We're
Yeah.
in the future, but we're coming from the past. I don't know.
That's right. Yeah.
We've confused ourselves at this point, but today is happy Halloween, my
That's
friend.
right. But you might be like, we're well into November. Yeah, but we're recording
You're
on
right.
actual Halloween. Like physically in this time that I'm talking, it is Halloween day. Yep. And so that's what we're talking about.
I'm so excited for Halloween. It's one of my favorites. I've been listening to the Halloween music like all morning, while working and stuff. What about you?
Yeah, I'm just getting my mind right for tonight. A little trick or treating, a little door to door, and then we'll hand out candy when we get back. Because I'm sure Lily will be like, "Okay, I'm tired of walking. I'm done." And then Chloe will want to finish the neighborhood and stuff. And so that's usually how it goes. And so, we'll get some steps in this evening. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe Lily's stamina is going to be up more than you imagine. Give her a little sugar before you go.
Yeah, she'll like they've already gotten into our candy because we made the mistake of opening that like a couple days ago and putting it in the bowl. And Dad, can I have a couple pieces of Halloween candy? I'm like, sure. 'Tis the season, right?
It's game over at that point. Once you open the candy,
Yeah,
and then give them candy, forget it.
Casually just go grab a little Kit Kat, just a little bite,
That's the reason I have not opened our candy yet. I still have it sitting in its bags because it's such a temptation because I love sugar so much and I've been cutting it out actually really well. But if I open those bags and I see those full-size Kit Kats.
Oh, you went full size?
We're full size. This is our 4th year in a row full size.
We
never used to be full size. Yeah, right. But I do feel like more of like a Halloween pimp passing out the full bars.
Right.
Like,
come
and get them. Come and get them.
Yes. I like it. Yeah. We my grandparents always handed out full candy bars, and that was always like really cool. We got the little mini. We'll give out handfuls though. We'll be like, here, take it, because whatever we don't give out, the nurses will get at Michelle's office on
little candy
tomorrow.
salad.
Oh yeah, Michelle just bring it up there, or well, tomorrow's Saturday, so technically it'll be next week. But yeah, dude, with Halloween and stuff, a big thing about Halloween is haunted houses, right?
Oh yeah.
And I have not ever gotten Michelle to a haunted house ever. We've been together for almost 23 years, and the last time she went to a haunted house was right when we started talking, like her freshman year of college. Halloween, they took her to this haunted house called Sloss Furnace. It's like an abandoned iron factory, right? It's really spooky, and it's supposed to be like one of the most haunted places in Alabama, just in life. But I think they've kind of, they have concerts and stuff there too. But that last time, freshman year in college, was the last time she went, and she lost her shoe halfway through her flip flop and walked through a abandoned iron mill with one barefoot.
That sounds very safe.
Yeah, hasn't been back since to any haunted houses. But the other night, I'm on Facebook and I see like on like the yard sale, like Tuscaloosa yard sale Facebook page.
Oh yeah,
haunted house, and they put an address. We're open till 10 p.m. and it's literally like a mile from our house, and it's like $5. And in the comments it says all age friendly. So I was like, oh, just something like fun. Like, I know Michelle's not going. I was like, hey, there's this haunted house, and she goes, nope. I was like, I wasn't asking you, but can I take the girls real quick? It said it's for all ages, and she's like, oh yeah, sure. And so we load up and we go down a mile down the road. We go to this haunted house. And I tell you what, man, it was not all age friendly. Poor Lily. Everybody's it's all jump scares, right? Like these kids are jumping out of, and I will say it was literally 1 minute long. It was like the small little warehouse that they've made like 2 little hallways. You kind of just go around the corner and then you're done.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, mer. But they are jumping out at every angle at you. But it's not all kid friendly. Like this one kid went sliding on his knees around the corner as we were coming around the corner and actually got me. I almost said something I shouldn't have said, holding both of these girls' hands, but they're like screaming. Chloe's loving it. But Lily is like, she's like, we get to she's running out in the parking lot. She's done. Chainsaw Man comes after us and she's like, I'm done. She's running. She's gone. And then we get in the car and she goes, I feel like I need to cry. I'm crying. Poor thing. All right, baby. I won't take you to an all-age haunted house again. But that was our adventure the other night.
That needs to become a GIF. I feel like I need to cry.
I'm crying. Poor thing.
Poor thing. But that is a really funny line, though.
Yep. Yeah, but yeah, we made it home, and then she found her mama and had to start crying again. It's like, oh, man, I'm the dad of the year here.
Yeah, so you're looking really good right now.
Yeah, just rock
Michelle
that.
just giving you that look, like, yeah, you did it.
Yeah, and be like, oh, sorry, girls, y'all have to sleep in your bed. That was the agreement. You know, you can't come down. Nope, you can't sleep with us tonight. If you're gonna go, we had that talk beforehand, and then she's like, "I need to sleep with y'all." It's like, nope,
not tonight.
Dad of the year.
That's hilarious, though.
Yep.
So anyhow, happy Halloween to all the
Halloween
out. It's gonna be so weird when you hear this because it's not gonna be close to Halloween, but
like,
it doesn't matter.
Thanksgiving. What the heck?
We try to keep everything evergreen, and we usually don't do things like this, but we're both feeling Halloweeny today.
Yeah.
And so that's it. And I said weenie, so deal with it. All right. All right. Well, enough spooks and scares on the front end here. We've got a lot to get to today.
Well, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. Are you ready, my friend?
You better believe it. Let's get into all the everything, y'all.
All the everything, we've got it all. We've got it all, small, weird, or tall. So grab your snacks, sit back, don't stress, cause Tim and Billy talk about the randomness. Information prone to UFOs will take you where the weirdness goes. It's two guys talking way too loud about stuff that makes no sense, but we're kinda proud.
Well, welcome to yet another amazing episode of All the Everything Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Tim Sawhook, and I'm joined by the best of the business, the guy who takes his kids to places they shouldn't go and makes them start crying. Ladies and gentlemen, Billy Parchman.
Yeah, when we go back and review these episodes, with this not being actually on Halloween, we'll be like, what the heck did he do to his kids?
That's right. Where's the context? Yeah.
What the heck?
The context is in the opening of this episode, so go back and listen to it. But anyhow, we've got a really good episode for you guys today. Things that maybe you've pondered before and just didn't know the answers to. We're going to cover some of that today. Billy, what are we talking about?
Well, today we are going to be diving into some of the craziest, most unsolved things that have happened in history, like those mysteries. What are those? We don't have answers to what happened. You know, they just remain unsolved. You like that?
We have to add the bum. Billy's always got to one up me with his deep, sexy voice. Dang it, Billy.
Gosh. You suck.
Some have it, some don't. All right. Yep. But anyhow, before we get into it, we do want to do a little advisory to our people listening, right?
Yeah, a little trigger warning for y'all. You know, with some unsolved mysteries out there, they do involve murder. So just be wary of that. Some of these stories might not be for the younger ears. So, you know, just take that into advisement.
Yes. So do you want to go first? Do I go first this week? What are we doing?
Whichever.
You say it. Come on.
I'll go first. I'll do it.
Do it.
I'll do it.
Do it.
I'll do it.
All right.
Yep. So I'm going to go first. And murder.
There's nothing funny about murder, guys. But
no, there's not. There really isn't. But
before we started recording, though, we were like riffing off each other and saying murder in like 50 different kind of voices. I don't know why. It's just that kind of day, it's loosey-goosey.
Yep. We're just really excited about the candy, y'all. We're going to get so much candy tonight.
Woo! Let's get hyped. Full size. All right.
Full size candy bars.
All right.
All right.
Let's focus back into Unsolved.
Let's take it in. Okay. So, Unsolved. All right. It's the day before Thanksgiving, 1971. Airports are packed. Families are traveling, and the holiday chaos fills the air. But at Portland International Airport, one man is about to make history and vanish forever. He's dressed like a businessman, dark suit, white shirt, black tie, raincoat. He walks up to the counter and buys a one-way ticket to Seattle for $20. God, that must be nice. $20.
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
His name, Dan Cooper. He boards Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, a short hop to Seattle, and takes a seat in the back of the plane. He orders a bourbon and soda, lights a cigarette, and sits there cool as ice. It's always so weird to people smoked on planes.
But they had non-smoking sections, though, just so you know.
That's like the non-smoking restaurants, right? Like you walk in and just hit it. It's kind of like Waffle House. Like I never could go to Waffle House when I was younger because even though they had a non-smoking section, I hate cigarette smoke. Like the whole, it's so small. It's just a big, you come out smelling like a cigarette. Like, ugh, sorry.
Yeah. But it is crazy thinking that someone just sat back, you smoke them if you got them. And he was in there, man. He was in there.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Yeah. Well, a few minutes after takeoff, he hands a folded note to the flight attendant. She assumes it's just a phone number, so she slips it in her pocket. I guess it happens a lot. But he leans towards her and he whispers, "Miss, you better read the note. I have a bomb." Inside his briefcase are wires, red sticks, and a battery pack, or at least that's what it looked like. He tells her exactly what he wants: $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, a fuel truck standing by in Seattle to refuel the plane for another flight. The crew immediately alerts the cockpit. The captain radios the ground. The airline and the FBI scramble together in an emergency response. And while the world begins to move in panic mode, D.B. Cooper, as he comes to be known, sits calmly, sipping his drink and waiting. When the plane lands in Seattle, the other passengers are told there's a minor mechanical delay. They have no idea what's happening. On the tarmac, agents deliver a briefcase full of money and 4 parachutes. Cooper lets all 36 passengers go. No one's hurt. He keeps the flight crew and 1 flight attendant on board. He gives new instructions. The plane will take off again, headed to Mexico City, but it has to stay under 10,000 feet with its landing gear down and the cabin unpressurized, slow and steady. Now, somewhere over the dark, during a severe thunderstorm with winds going over 100 miles per hour in the forest of Washington State, Cooper does something that has never been done before and hasn't been done since. He opens the rear air stair door of the Boeing 727. The pressure in the cabin shifts. The lights flicker. The crew feels the burp of air as the stairs open. And then he jumps into the freezing, storming black night with 20 pounds of cash strapped to his body, wearing a suit and loafers, carrying nothing but courage or insanity, however you look at it, right?
Yeah.
Now, the plane lands safely in Reno hours later, but Cooper is gone. Hundreds of FBI agents, soldiers, and volunteers spend weeks searching the rugged wilderness below the flight path. They find absolutely nothing. No parachutes, no body, no trace. Now, 9 years later, a young boy camping with his family on the banks of the Columbia River discovers something strange. A decaying bundle of $20 bills, nearly $6,000, matching the serial numbers from Cooper's ransom money.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Now we're talking.
It's the only confirmed piece of evidence that was ever found. So, who was he? Some say he didn't survive the jump, that he died in the freezing wind, buried somewhere deep in the forest. Others believed he pulled it off, the perfect crime. Maybe he's ex-military. Maybe he landed safely, changed his name and lived out his life smiling every time somebody said unsolved mysteries. You know? But the FBI chased leads for decades. Dozens of suspects came and went, but no solid evidence ever surfaced. In 2016, the Bureau finally closed the case officially. But here's the thing. Legends never really close, do they?
Mm-mm.
So maybe D.B. Cooper's bones are buried in the forest, or maybe he's somewhere out there as an old man, still chuckling every Thanksgiving, remembering the day he pulled off the only unsolved skyjacking in American history. He ordered a drink, handed over a note, jumped into a storm, and disappeared. And on this day, no one knows what happened to D.B. Cooper. That's one mystery that even Tim couldn't solve or survive.
Nope. That was really good. Like anybody who has any sense of pop culture at all knows D.B. Cooper.
Yeah.
And has heard the stories and the legends and all the things. Those details are just crazy, though, when you actually think about, I mean, the balls on that guy.
Oh, my gosh. And, like, it's so funny, like, even, like, in Marvel, like, Loki was said to be D.B. Cooper from the show. Like, there was a scene from where he was D.B. Cooper, and he did that. And, I mean, of course, it would work if you were the god of mischief, right?
But, of course. I mean, I think
doubt
God could probably
that
pull
happened.
it off.
Yeah. Shoot.
Wait, you mean that's not real?
What? That's not real life? Gosh. Man.
Yeah, I heard that they had closed the case a while ago, but there's still been other specials, like in the last 2 years, I think, about D.B. Cooper, where they uncovered something or they found something, you know. But never enough to say, oh yeah, he definitely died. Most likely, did he die? Probably.
Yeah.
But there's also a chance that he landed.
Yeah.
And then took off, because I mean, if he did that much prepping ahead of time to get on the plane, having this plan, I'm sure he had more of a plan right after that as well. But I don't know. Yeah, but the jumping and the wind and all that, I don't know.
Right. Yeah, man. Like it's crazy.
It still has you second guessing and wondering, and
like, what
that's
the
why
heck?
it's still unsolved.
And that's why we're talking about it today on Unsolved.
Dum, dum, nice. That was a good one.
Thank you, sir.
Well, we did give that trigger warning earlier because this story is about murder, and we want you to be careful about that and who's listening. And if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, that's okay. Just fast forward to our next stories. For my stories from here on out are not about murder, but Billy might be bringing murder later. I don't know.
I am.
He is. So never mind. Just be on alert the entire time and be completely anxious about your life. So you ever walk alone at night and just like feel it? That sense that someone's watching you, the chill that climbs up your spine, even when the street looks empty? Well, that was California between 1968 and 1970. A time of love, music, and rebellion, but also a lot of fear. Because somewhere out there, a man with a gun, a pen, and an ego the size of the Golden Gate Bridge decided to make himself famous. He called himself the Zodiac.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. So it all started small, quiet, almost unnoticeable, but it would change everything. Let me set the story for you here. It's December 20th, 1968. Lake Herman Road, just outside of Vallejo, California, a cold Friday night. Two teenagers, David Faraday, 17, and Betty Lou Jensen, 16, are parked on a lonely stretch of road. A lover's lane spot. We've all heard about those, you know, and the kind of teenagers that always find them and, you know, do what they do. The heater hums in the car, the radio whispers, and for a moment, it's peaceful. They're holding each other, maybe kissing a little bit, and just enjoying some music. Then, headlights in the rearview mirror. Another car pulls up. A man steps out. He's carrying a flashlight and a gun. He walks up, shines a light in the car, and fires. David is shot once in the head. Betty Lou runs terrified into the night. She makes it only 30 feet before being shot 5 times in the back. No robbery. No sexual assault, just death for the sake of it. The police have no suspects, no motive, only shell casings and questions. But California is about to learn a name it will never, ever forget. Blue Rock Springs, July 4th, 1969. Fireworks light the sky over Vallejo, California again. Darlene Farron, 22, Michael Mago, 19, sit in her car parked near Blue Rock Springs. Another car pulls up behind them, then drives away. A few minutes later, it returns. The driver gets out with a flashlight in hand. Michael thinks it's a cop. The light from his flashlight is blinding him, and then, boom, gunfire. 9 shots. Oh Darlene is hit 5 times. Michael is shot in the face, neck, and arm, but somehow he lives. 40 minutes later, a call comes into the Vallejo police. The voice is calm and steady. I want to report a double murder. If you go 1 mile east on Columbus Parkway, you'll find kids in a brown car. They were shot with a 9mm Luger. Also, I killed those kids last year. Click. Just like that.
Gosh.
The phone was traced to a payphone less than a mile from the police station, and it was still warm on the receiver for where the person had just been moments before. Then the letters began. 3 days later, 3 newspapers, the Vallejo Times-Herald, San Francisco Chronicle, and the Examiner each receive a letter, each handwritten, each claiming responsibility for the 2 murders, and each ending with a strange symbol, a circle with a cross through it. He demanded that papers print his coded 408 symbols on the front page, and if they didn't, he said more people would die. And so what he was asking to post was a cipher.
Yeah.
All these different symbols, right? Mm-hmm. In the newspapers, they printed it because how do you say no to a killer who has a deadline, right? Yeah. Within a week, a school teacher and his wife cracked the code just like that. The message read, I like killing people because it is so much fun. That was it. No cause, no reason, just joy and murder. The world now had a front row seat into a new kind of evil, one that wanted to be seen. We fast forward September 27th, 1969, Lake Berryessa. College students Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard are relaxing on the grass near the water. Then out of the trees, a man appears. He's wearing a black hood, clip-on glasses, and stitched across his chest the Zodiac circle and cross that he's been signing on all those letters. He tells them he's escaped from prison. He just needs their car. They believe him. He ties their wrists with rope, and then he stabs them. Cecilia is stabbed 10 times. Brian, 6. And before he leaves, Zodiac takes out a black marker and writes on their car door his symbol, the dates of the murder, and the word Vallejo. Then he walks away. An hour later, police receive another calm phone call. I want to report a murder. No, a double murder. They were 2 miles north of park headquarters. I'm the one who did it. Click. Hangs up again. Cecilia, unfortunately, dies 2 days later in the hospital. But Brian, he survives to tell the story. Then we move along. Same year, 1969, October 11th. San Francisco. Cab driver Paul Stein picks up a passenger near Mason and Geary. He's supposed to drop him off at Washington and Maple. But something goes wrong. At the corner of Washington and Cherry, the man shoots Stein in the head, takes his wallet and his keys, and cuts off a piece of his bloody shirt. A piece he later mails to the San Francisco Chronicle. Kids across the street saw everything, watched him wipe the cab down and walk away into the night. Police even stopped the man matching the description just blocks away, but they let him go because they were told the suspect was a black male. But Zodiac, he was white. He slipped right through their hands that night. Unlike most serial killers, Zodiac didn't hide from attention. He actually fed on it. He mailed blood-stained fabric, sent Halloween cards, and mocked police by name. He called radio stations pretending to be someone else, taunting, playful, and cruel. He wasn't just a murderer, he was a performer. He crafted his image, the hood, the symbol, the name, all of it. He didn't just want to kill, he wanted to be remembered for killing. Then, silence. The murder stopped, or seemed to, but the letters kept coming. He claimed 37 victims. Police investigated thousands and thousands of suspects. One name, though, Arthur Lee Allen, kept surfacing. A teacher, a loner, fascinated by weapons, ciphers, and the Zodiac case itself. But DNA ruled him out. Handwriting didn't match. And once again, the trail went cold. Zodiac vanished into a myth. Fast forward all the way to 2020. For decades, one of his messages, known as the Z340, remained unsolved. Then in 2020, a small team of code breakers finally cracked it. They actually had a TV show with the code breakers doing it. They had this massive supercomputer that had been programmed just for these kind of ciphers. And they cracked it, and the message read, I'm not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner. And he spelled paradise wrong. He spelled dice with a D-I-C-E, which is kind of common for him with misspellings of words. But somehow that made it worse because it felt more personal. Like a guy was actually writing these things and couldn't spell right, and it just made it feel more real for everyone.
Right, yeah.
It was like he was still smirking from the grave. And on that show, it was really it was cool watching them do it because it was many episodes. And all of a sudden, on the very last episode, someone runs out of the room to like, we have it. And all of a sudden, there's like a scattering of production everywhere. Like it's not filming anywhere. You just see people scattering around. And they actually end it there, and they have some words on the screen that they did crack something, but they can't reveal it until they reveal it to the police. So it was actually never revealed on the TV show what the code said. It was kind of creepy.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was really weird because it's ended like super abruptly, but it just, left it more suspicious and crazier than ever.
Man.
So who was he? Was he Arthur Lee Allen? Was it a journalist, a stranger we never even suspected? Every lead feels solid until it collapses. Every theory feels right until it isn't. The truth is, no one knows. And maybe that's what the Zodiac wanted, because as long as we're still talking about him, he wins. He's no longer a man. He's a myth, a shadow, a ghost who loved attention. The Zodiac didn't just kill people. He killed the illusion that evil makes sense. He showed us that monsters can write letters, wear glasses, and sound polite on the phone. And that's why more than 50 years later, we still can't stop looking into the dark, just in case he's looking back. And that's the story of the Zodiac Killer. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. That is crazy. And they made a movie about it, right? Is that does that have Mark Ruffalo? Does it have the Hulk in it?
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo in it. It has I'm blanking on names. It has Iron Man. What's his name?
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other famous people. That movie is one of my favorite movies ever.
I need to go rewatch that. I want to rewatch that actually.
I almost watched it again last night a little bit, but
to prepare.
I don't have time to get into this whole movie, but
right.
Yeah. There were some things that they left out here on the story, but some of the things that he had written to the letter to the newspapers was if they didn't do I forget what it was, post this other cipher, that he was going to start picking off kids coming off school buses.
Oh my gosh.
And so from then, like the whole school bus, the city, everyone was scared to death to put anybody on a bus. And that he also said that all the people he kill will be his slaves in the afterlife. Like that was a big thing he had written about.
Man.
Dude was crazy and evil and all the things. So
yeah.
But yeah, the Zodiac Killer, that story has always fascinated me. That this person of all this evil and craziness, that nobody was able to catch him after all that time. And I say fascinate, not and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love him, but just like the whole point of this thing is unsolved. It's just really creepy and hard to process all these years later.
Yeah, man, dude. Whew. Well, going from one serial killer to probably the one that inspired most serial killers. London, the year is 1888. The streets of Whitechapel are choked with fog, lit by flickering gas lamps and echoing with the sound of footsteps on wet cobblestone. It's a grim time in the East End, overcrowded, poor, and desperate. But soon, the neighborhood will become infamous for something far worse. In the early hours of August 31st, a woman's body is discovered lying in a dark alley. Her name is Mary Ann Nichols. Her throat has been cut, her body mutilated. The brutality of the attack shocks even the hardened police officers. A week later, it happens again. Another woman, another alley, another gruesome scene. Her name is Annie Chapman. The injuries are eerily similar. Panic starts to ripple throughout London. The newspapers grab a hold of the story for the first time, and the city begins to realize there's a killer loose in Whitechapel. As the nights grow colder, fear settles in. Women avoid walking alone. Residents keep watch from their windows, but the killer keeps striking. Elizabeth Stride and Catherine Eddowes are found murdered within the same hour, the same night.
Jeez.
2 attacks, one after the other, both vicious, both methodical. And then a 5th victim, Mary Jane Kelly. Her body is found inside her small room in Miller's Court. The crime scene is so horrific that even the detectives have to step outside for air. Whoever this man is, He isn't just killing, he's making a statement.
Mm-hmm.
And then the newspapers give him a name. They call him Jack the Ripper. And soon the letters begin to arrive at the press offices, supposedly written by the killer himself. Some are hoaxes, but some maybe are not. One in particular ends with a chilling signature. Yours truly, Jack the Ripper. The name sticks and the myth is born. Police are desperate. They question butchers, barbers, doctors, sailors, and even royalty. No one is above suspicion. Hundreds of men are interrogated, and the city is in full-blown hysteria. But Jack the Ripper is always one step ahead. Then, just as sudden as it began, it stops. The killing ends as mysterious as it started. No arrests, no confessions, and no answers. Over time, countless theories have tried to solve the mystery. Some believe he was a surgeon. Others believe that he was a member of the royal family, or even an American traveler. Dozens of suspects, hundreds of books, and more than a century later, no one truly knows. What we do know is that his murders changed the world. They created blueprints for the modern day serial killer and the investigations on how those are handled. The idea of the unknown monster stalking the streets, that fear began here. Today, tourists walk those same Whitechapel streets where guideposts point out each murder site. The fog may be gone, but the unease still lingers. Somewhere in history's shadows, Jack the Ripper got away with it all.
That is a crazy, crazy story. It's one of the ones that's fascinated me also. The brutality of it all. Do you care if I fill in a couple things? I
Go
saw
for it.
Just earlier this year, they did a brand new Unsolved Mysteries, and one of the stories was Jack the Ripper. One thing to consider about all these ladies that were just brutally murdered, they were all prostitutes.
Sure.
They were all prostitutes. That's why they were out at night walking around. As a matter of fact, there'd be people who would try to get a room for the night, and it would cost a dime. But these women can't afford to even have a bed for the night for a dime. So you'd have to go out and walk the streets, do some business just to have a little bit of money to come have somewhere to stay for the night. Like, that's how desperate it was for them.
Sure.
And also the one story you told about how they found that one lady in the house, the building that the police had to keep coming in and out of. They were saying that it was the most brutal because he actually had time to work, which makes me sick because it wasn't like a slash and go like he did on the streets. Yeah. So when I saw the different things when I was looking up the Unsolved we were talking about from the beginning, and I saw Jack the Ripper, and I had already picked Zodiac. I was like, I'm going to look like a total psychopath. I always picked
to do all the
5 bajillion murderers. But again, in the Netflix show on the Unsolved Mysteries, they do show literally how close people were to him during the murder. Like, there'd be somebody standing at their door, and he was at the gate and murdering the person like right there, and nobody saw anything. Nobody heard anything. And that was just, he was just like a phantom, right? And that was crazy part of it. You guys could probably tell what I do with my free time. I know a little too much about these things. It's not me. I'm not Jack the Ripper. Anyhow, but that story is brutal and crazy.
100%.
So, all right, let's take it back to the skies again. And this is, I don't think there's any more murder after this. I don't know if Belly has any more.
I don't. That's all the murder I have. We're done with the murder on my side.
All right. So if you made it this far, you can breathe a little easier.
We're
and
murder free from here on out.
Just unsolved. And anyhow. So here's the thing. In 2014, we could track a phone anywhere on planet Earth. We had satellites mapping every inch of the planet, but somehow we lost an entire airplane. A Boeing 777, 239 souls on board, vanished into thin air. And to this day, nobody can say for sure what happened. This is the story of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, the jet that disappeared from the sky. So let's talk about the vanishing. It's just after midnight, March 8th, 2014. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 prepares for takeoff in Kuala Lumpur, a red-eye flight to Beijing. On board, 227 passengers, 12 crew members, and one of the safest aircrafts ever built, the Boeing 777. The captain was Zahari Ahmad Shah, who was 53 years old. He was a veteran pilot, calm, respected, a man who spent his free time at home on his own personal flight simulator, always trying to keep getting better at his craft. His co-pilot, Farik Hamid, is 27, young, bright, flying his last supervised flight before he can become fully certified. So sad. At 12:41 a.m., MH370 lifts off into a calm, clear night sky. Routine, smooth, and normal. At 1:19 a.m., Malaysian Air Traffic Control hands off to the Vietnamese controllers. Let me explain what that means if you don't know. When there's different time zones that go through in different areas, one traffic controller in Malaysia handled it to a certain point, but it became Vietnamese air traffic, and they kind of, quote unquote, hand off to the next people.
Sure.
So anyhow, they hand off to the Vietnamese controllers. The captain replies with his voice steady and polite, "Good night, Malaysia 370. And that is the last time anyone ever hears from anybody. The turn. Minutes later, the plane disappears from civilian radar. No distress call, no mayday. It's as if someone flipped a switch and erased it from the sky. But deep in a military radar system, another signal appears. The plane is turning. Instead of heading north towards Beijing, MH370 banks a left, a wide, deliberate turn, crossing into Malay Peninsula, flying west over the Strait of Malacca. Every move is precise, very sharp. Whoever's flying knows exactly what they're doing. Then around 2:22 a.m., it vanishes again, this time from the military radar too. But satellites, thousands of miles above, keep detecting faint handshakes from the plane's systems. Not words, not data, just pings. Every hour for the next 7 hours. That means the plane was still in the air, flying somewhere, most likely south into the emptiness of the Indian Ocean. What followed became the largest, most expensive search in aviation history. More than 30 countries joined in. The Australian Transport Safety Bureau led deep-sea expeditions scanning nearly 50,000 square miles of ocean floor. Just think how long that would take. It was basically the area the size of Pennsylvania they were scanning underwater. They used sonar, underwater drones, and submarines. Ships mapped the seabed looking for anything, metal debris, jet engines, landing gear, anything that didn't belong. For 2 years, they found nothing. No oil slick, no floating debris, just the endless blue void. Then in July 2015, a beachcomber on Reunion Island, east of Madagascar, found a piece of a wing. It's called a flaperon. It was confirmed to be from MH370. In the following months, more fragments surfaced, a piece of the tail, interior panels, seat cushions, all along the African coast. Each one whispered the same truth. The plane went down in the ocean. But the question was never if it crashed, it was why. Here's some theories that refuse to die. The world wanted answers, and instead we got lots and lots of theories. Number 1, the pilot theory. Some investigators believe Captain Zahari reprogrammed the flight path himself, that he may have locked his co-pilot out of the cockpit, depressurized the cabin, and guided the plane south alone. Actually, his home flight simulator contained a route eerily similar to the plane's final path, which is crazy, right? And if that's true, this wasn't an accident. It was a carefully planned disappearance. But that leads us to number 2, the hijacking theory. 2 passengers on board were actually traveling on stolen passports. For a time, that looked very suspicious until investigators discovered they were asylum seekers, not terrorists. So that's why they had a new identity.
Sure.
Still, though, some believe a hijacking could explain the drastic course change, but there was never a ransom, a message, or even a trace of a struggle. The third theory, the mechanical failure theory. Maybe it wasn't foul play at all, a sudden decompression, electrical fire, a slow hypoxia event where everyone on board quietly loses consciousness and just fades off. The plane, still on autopilot, continues to fly until it runs out of fuel and it glides into the ocean. But even that doesn't explain the deliberate turns or the disabled transponder. And number 4, the something else theory. A government cover-up, secret cargo, espionage, whispers of hidden motives all fed by the silence. And when the officials' explanations don't satisfy, conspiracy fills the void, right? We know that. Sometimes we forget that MH370 isn't just a code or a case file. It was 239 people, among them families on vacation, engineers, students, business travelers, a group of Chinese calligraphy artists on their way to an exhibition in Beijing, newlyweds returning home, little children sleeping in their seats. And when the plane vanished, it left behind parents, spouses, sons, and daughters who lived every day since in waiting. They still gather each year, candlelight visuals, memorials, moments of silence. Some have searched beaches themselves, walking miles of coastlines looking for answers. And one mother said it best: "If my son is gone, just tell me. If he's alive, find him. But just don't leave me in the in-between."
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where the mystery is, not just disappearance, but a wound that would never heal.
Mm.
So do you remember that when that all went down?
Oh, I do remember that, because it kind of just like it makes you kind of think of the TV show Lost, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah, that was so strange that they couldn't find any evidence, whatsoever. No oil, nothing. The no oil part seems like it's like the hardest thing, because if it wrecked, you would be able to, I don't know. It is a big ocean, though. Gosh.
I know. And the fact that they scanned all that thing the size of Pennsylvania, looking for something and found nothing, it was just crazy. I think I've heard like conspiracies of like, they say there's still people who will call the phones of them and they'll ring and not go to voicemail. And that creeps me. I don't know how true that is, but it's certain things like that. Because before that, I think originally they said that when they called, like when this all went down, everything went to voicemail, thinking, okay, the plane had crashed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But then they said they still call, and now the phone rings, and so.
Oh gosh.
What do you think happened? Hearing all the different theories, what do you think?
You kind of going through the theories. I would want to believe that it was a mechanical issue, and like you said, the pressure lost, and then they just kind of went to sleep. But the plane was on autopilot until it ran out of fuel. That would be. But I hate the fact that he had a simulation on his thing that was very similar. That kind of makes me think other things too. So I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds. If it was a captain, that just sounds like pure evil, like all the stuff we talked about today. Just, but yeah, it's this is another. It's an unsolved that's more recent instead of like something that happened like 100 years ago or something like that.
Exactly.
And I think and they said at the very beginning of the story that at that point in time you could track a phone anywhere in the world, but you can't track this plane that just disappeared. So
exactly. Man.
So that's the mystery of MH370.
Well, kind of sticking on that kind of same kind of plane, I guess, or not plane, just avenue, I guess, if you will.
Don't be trying to get too crazy with your words now.
Yeah, no, right? There's a stretch of ocean in the Atlantic where logic seems to vanish, just like the ships that sail across it. A place where compasses spin, radios die, and time feels like it folds on itself. They call it the Bermuda Triangle. It covers roughly 500,000 square miles of ocean sea, forming a triangle between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. But within that triangle lies one of the strangest, most chilling mysteries on Earth. For more than a century, stories have poured in. Ships have vanished without distress calls. Planes disappeared from the skies. Entire crews gone without a trace. No wreckage, no survivors, just silence. The legend really took hold in 1945. 5 U.S. Navy torpedo bombers, known as Flight 19, took off from Fort Lauderdale on a routine training mission. The weather was calm. The flight plan was simple. But somewhere over the Atlantic, the pilots grew disoriented. The compasses stopped working, and they couldn't tell which way was west, east, or home. Radio transmissions picked up fragments of the confusion. One pilot said, "Everything looks wrong. Even the ocean doesn't look like it should." And then nothing. The squadron disappeared completely. The Navy sent out a massive rescue effort, including a search plane with 13 men on board. That plane vanished too. No debris, no bodies, nothing. 19 men, 6 aircrafts, all gone. And just like that, a legend was born.
Jeez.
But the mystery doesn't stop there. Over the years, dozens of ships and planes have met strange fates within the triangle. The USS Cyclops, a massive Navy cargo ship carrying more than 300 sailors, disappeared in 1918 without sending a single distress signal. It remains the single largest loss of life in U.S. naval history that doesn't involve combat.
Wow.
That is insane. Commercial flights have vanished too. In 1948, a passenger plane carrying 29 people disappeared while flying from Puerto Rico to Miami. A year later, another plane vanished along the exact same route. Both aircrafts gone, with not one scrap of evidence found. So, what's happening out there? Some say it's perfectly explainable, unpredictable weather, magnetic anomalies, human error, methane gas bubbles from the ocean floor. Others believe it's something else at work: time warps, alien abductions, even underwater gateways to other dimensions. That's kind of getting out there.
I know, but I've heard all of those though.
Right. Theories have just been tossed around for decades. But here's the strange part. The US government doesn't officially recognize the Bermuda Triangle as a real geographical location. On maps, it doesn't exist, and yet pilots, sailors, and even satellites have reported instruments behaving oddly when they cut across that zone. Whatever the explanation, one fact remains: ships and planes have disappeared there. People have gone missing, and science still doesn't have all the answers. Imagine flying through the vast blue expanse, nothing but clouds and waves below, when suddenly your compass starts spinning. The radio cuts out, the horizon twists into a haze. You call for help, but no one responds, and then silence. Jeez. That's the Bermuda Triangle. It's one of those mysteries that people just get hooked on, because even in a world mapped down to the inch, there's still a corner where unknown reigns. Whether it's science, nature, or something beyond, the truth is still out there somewhere, floating in that endless ocean, hidden beneath those turquoise waters. The Bermuda Triangle. Ooh.
Yeah. I know a lot of the stories you shared, especially about Flight 19 and the craziness behind that. There's been a couple of shows about covering that in depth, and it just doesn't make any sense at all.
It really doesn't. But you've always heard,
especially the disappearing part. Like, it's not like they found the boats and everyone was dead or missing. Even they just didn't find anything.
How do you lose a naval cargo ship with 300 people on board? That just, oh my goodness gracious, that just doesn't make
it doesn't make any sense at all. It's very baffling if you really try to reason with it. I do have to say, one time we were on a Disney cruise, we were at dinner, and the captain came on and said, "We are now crossing the Bermuda Triangle," and everybody at dinner looked around like,
"What the heck?
Why are you telling us this, first of all, and why are you going through it for?"
Go around.
He's like, "You got nothing to worry about, but we wanted to let you know." It was kind of like there was a fire down below yesterday, but everyone's safe. Like, don't tell us if everything's okay. I don't know there was fire.
Tell us after we get through it. Be like, oh yeah, by the way, yesterday you went through the Bermuda Triangle. Congratulations.
Yeah, it was fair. Everyone looked around at the tables and were like, "Why is he telling people this for?"
What the heck? Now, do you think the lost city of Atlantis is in the Bermuda Triangle underwater with the mer people?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, anything's possible at this point, right? People are just disappearing in this area, but it's kind of weird because you haven't heard much about anything recently in the Bermuda Triangle, right?
Yeah,
it makes me wonder when the last thing happened that was recorded.
That's a good question.
Or maybe things have happened that
they just didn't say. They don't report it.
Nobody knows.
Cover-ups. Dun, dun, dun.
I know why. It was D.B. Cooper. He did it.
It was. He did it. Yep.
He's hanging out with the Zodiac Killer.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
Watching Jack the Ripper documentary.
Yeah.
That dude gone though. Jack the Ripper gone. You don't have to worry about him no more.
Yeah.
Just copycats.
Same with Zodiac.
Yep. He gone.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't hold us to any of these real things we're talking about. We have no idea. But I think it's a safe bet on Jack the Ripper though.
I think we're pretty I feel pretty confident in that.
All right, let me get into our final unsolved mystery of the episode today. And this is called the Gardner Heist, when Boston's beauty was stolen.
Ooh.
So let me lead you in here. It's 1:24 a.m., March 18th, 1990. Boston celebrating its St. Patrick's Day weekend, which you can imagine what that's like in Boston.
Oh, in Boston, yeah, with those Celtics,
like, it's crazy
Irish
time there. Oh, the Irish, right. So the streets are alive, neon lights are louder than ever. The hum of bagpipes spilling from every bar in town. But inside the quiet halls of Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, it's calm, still. 2 night guards making their rounds, surrounded by centuries of beauty. And in just a few minutes, they're going to open the doors to the most successful art heist in American history. Here we go. At 1:24 a.m., 2 men pull up in a small hatchback. They're dressed as Boston police officers, dark uniforms, badges, caps, they have it all. They buzz the museum's side door. Police, we get a call about a disturbance, one says. Inside, 23-year-old Rick Abbott hesitates. Protocol says never to let anyone in, but these guys look official. They're the police, right? Flashing lights, radios. So he hits the buzzer. The door clicks open, and that's it. In less than a minute, the museum's fate is sealed forever. The fake cops step inside. They handcuff both guards, tape over their eyes and mouths, and march them into the basement. One thief says almost casually, "Gentlemen, this is a robbery." For me, there's something creepy about their eyes being duct taped too, not just their mouth.
I know. That would
When I
hurt
read
your
that part,
eyebrows.
oh, yeah. I don't know. There was something more sinister about duct taping their eyes, but
well, at least they left their nose open so they could breathe, because otherwise that would be murder.
The next sentence is actually they covered up their nose. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So anyhow, the thief casually says, "Gentlemen, this is a robbery." And for the next 81 minutes, the museum becomes theirs.
Oh, wow.
They move slowly, calmly. They know exactly what they want. In the Dutch room, they cut Rembrandt's Storm of the Sea of Galilee, his only known seascape, right out of its frame.
Wow.
They take a Lady and Gentleman in Black. They take a Vermeer, the concert, only one of 36 Vermeers in existence. They grab Degas sketches, a Manet, not Monet, but a Monet, and even a bronze eagle finial from a flagpole, something that no one can explain. So I don't know if a finial is just the top of a flagpole with an eagle on it. I'm not sure. So
I don't know.
Maybe I should have researched that. Oh, well. You guys can figure it out.
It's probably worth some money, though. Yeah.
Finial. Figure it out for yourself.
Yep.
Before they leave, we can't give you everything, all right? Before they leave, they check the security footage, pull the tape from the camera, and they vanish into the night. 13 artworks, 81 minutes, $500 million in beauty gone, just like that. The morning after, when the morning guard arrives, he finds the side door ajar. He calls for backup, walks in, and stops cold. The galleries are silent. Frames hang on the walls, but the canvases are gone. Just torn edges, empty rectangles of air. The Rembrandt, the Vermeer, the Manet, all gone. The museum decides to leave the empty frames up, exactly as they were found, a permanent scar. Even now, if you visit, those frames still hang there, haunting, completely empty, like the ghost of the art that once lived there. Isn't that kind of weird?
Wow, that's kind of, I would love to see that, actually.
I know. Like, it's accessible to us. It's in Boston. We can see this.
Yeah.
So the investigation, the FBI, who are that? Who are the FBI?
Who are they?
Who is the FBI?
The FBI. Hello, FBI.
So it's not the FBI, but the FBI steps in immediately. They interview everyone, even people from the FBI, staff, former guards, art dealers, mob informants, and slowly theories begin to form. Theory 1, the inside job. Rick Abath. What is wrong with me today? The FBI and Rick Abath. Rick Abath. Rick Abath, also known as Rick Abath, the guard who opened the door. He was young, inexperienced, and had broken security rules before. Some believe he was in on it, that he was paid to look the other way. Rick insists to this day he was just tricked. and also that he's never been charged either. So nothing came of that. Theory 2, the mob connection. It's always the mob, right?
Yeah.
Boston's Irish mob was active at the time, dangerous, resourceful, and familiar with the underground art trade. Names like Bobby Dante and David Houghton comes up, both connected to stolen art and extortion. They're both dead now, but some FBI agents still believe they orchestrated the heist to use the painting as bargaining chips for reduced prison time down the road. Theory 3, the hidden collection. Art experts think the stolen works are still out there, stashed in a climate-controlled room, hidden for decades. Because there's the thing about stolen art. You can't sell it. You can fence diamonds or cash, but a Rembrandt, that's a fingerprint that never fades. Right. Maybe the thieves realized too late they hadn't stolen money, they had stolen ghosts right off the wall. So, over the years, rumors spread like wildfire. The paintings were in Ireland, hidden by the IRA. No, they were in Japan, traded among collectors. No, they were smuggled to Connecticut, buried in a barn. That seems a little key compared to Ireland and Japan, right?
Right.
No, just in Connecticut, buried in a barn. In 2013, the FBI, also known as the FBI, announced they knew who did it, but the suspects were dead and the art was still missing. So was it the Boston people? If they were dead, who knows? So the case remained open, unsolved, untouchable. The museum still offers a $10 million reward for information leading to recovery. It's the largest private reward in art world history, and still not a single verified lead has come in. So, art theft isn't about money. It's about erasing culture. When those pieces vanished, humanity lost something irreplaceable. Each painting was a story, a frozen moment of genius, and someone tore them out of time. So when you walk through the Gardner Museum today, it's quiet. Sunlight drips through glass ceilings, landing on marble floors, and in the Dutch room, those empty painting frames still hang, like open wounds to the whole place. You can almost feel it, the absence of beauty, like the air remembers that once beauty stood but was stolen in the night. And that is the mystery of the Museum of Art in Boston. I forget what the name of it was called. Was stolen and all the things. So if you want to go back to the name at the very beginning, you can go back, because I am struggling hardcore to read today. I don't know why. This is going to be a fun
one to edit. This is going to be a fun one to edit.
You're going to have to leave some of those things in. They need to know about the FBI.
The FBI is staying.
That has to stay.
Yep.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy though, isn't it? That it happened and they just had complete access to all the stuff. If you really are interested, to people listening or you, Billy, there is a Netflix special all about this whole stealing of the arts. It's very, very interesting.
I would like to see that. Yeah, I'd like to go.
Your mom would like to see that. Yeah.
Wow.
It's just one of those days. I'm sorry. Maybe your mom really would like to see it. No offense.
Oh, we would like to go to Boston.
Yeah. But we can go to Boston. It would be cool to go see the empty frames on the wall.
That would be really cool.
I think it's kind of cool they left those up. At first I thought, it's kind of weird. But like you said, it's kind of interesting. It's another way to draw people into the museum, really.
Yeah, that's a history all itself. The paintings are history, but the fact that they got stolen and nobody knows all these decades later. I mean, if you can get $10 million.
Yeah, that's the thing that was crazy, that there was a $10 million reward and not a single lead came in. Because usually someone will flip on somebody like that and be like,
especially if you can't sell them, you know what I mean? And if everybody's already dead, my Uncle Joe had these in his attic, but it was a very sealed and air-conditioned place.
I thought it was pretty convenient that the FBI could come in and be like, don't worry, we knew who it was, but they're dead. So
they're dead, so we're not going to tell you about it.
But we solved it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just move on to the next big crazy thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was really strange. It stuck out to me because I had seen the show on Netflix, and it is a crazy mystery of just the thing coming in as the police officers and then the time they took, and never even a hint or a lead ever came in. So,
well, dang, now I have to watch that, and I have to watch the Zodiac Killer movie again.
You have a very active weekend, and you have to watch the Jack the Ripper series on Netflix, Unsolved Mysteries. So if you want to be haunted and never sleep again, that's how you spend the weekend.
That's right. Man.
Oh man, but this was a really cool episode. The Unsolved, man. It just lingers in the air and makes you just want more. There's just something about mystery that we're all drawn to.
Yeah.
The fact that no one ever solved it is pretty crazy. So, but anyhow, if you guys think this was really cool and you like the Unsolved, you want to hear more about it, or you have something that we think we should have picked, let us know on our social media. Billy, where can they let us know?
Yeah, go on over to facebook.com, type in All the Everything Podcast. We'll pop up right there. You'll see all of our social posts and stuff. Click on that, leave us a comment, let us know. Also, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on all the different socials out there. You could just type in our name and you'll see us.
And like you said, man, if you hear us every week, you want to see us and check out the studios and where we film at, comments, pretty cool. Something different.
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys so much. First of all, thank you, Billy, for a great episode. Your stories were amazing.
Thank you too, sir.
All right. Well, thank you very much. But I want to thank all of you guys for joining us for yet another amazing episode of All the Everything Podcast. Thank you for joining us. We can't wait to see you next time. And I hope you guys have an amazing week.
Bye, y'all.